Hey, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, one of the greatest sneaker stories that I have encountered in my time doing reviews here. It's none other than the Hi-Tec Freedom 67s. Without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so a couple of months ago, in fact, I think it was just before COVID, Hi-Tec first reached out to me regarding their plans to recreate one of the most iconic sneakers in South African sneaker culture history, and probably a story that not many people that collect sneakers here in South Africa are maybe even aware of. But ultimately, the idea behind this particular campaign and the shoes in this box was to raise money for the Nelson Mandela's Children's Fund by recreating a shoe that was super iconic to Nelson Mandela himself. In fact, during the 27 years of sacrifice that Nelson Mandela went through to ensure our freedom here that we all hold so dear today, he was wearing a classic pair of Hi-Tec tennis shoes, Hi-Tec being the heritage classic brand from the UK. And that particular shoe was always synonymous with Nelson Mandela, with all the photos that we have that are part of history today. So to see this particular shoe come back, which we will get into now, is just absolutely iconic for anyone in South Africa who's remotely interested in sneakers. But overarching the sneakers themselves, the drive to really make a change. And with that change in mind, Hi-Tec have partnered with the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. And the sole purpose of these shoes and what I'm about to tell you in this review is to raise money for the Nelson Mandela's Children's Fund, which was founded in 1995 by Nelson Mandela himself. Its primary mission to address the daily challenges that children in South Africa face every day. Now, to launch this particular campaign, 67 pairs of the Freedom 67s have been created over here, and these were sent to me by Hi-Tec, as well as 66 or 65, I think, other people of influence around the country, not just within sneakers, but also just, you know, in terms of creating freedom. You have the best possible chance of getting the word out there of these absolutely incredible shoes, and also to raise money for the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. Now, just to show you the box itself, when you open it up, you've got this perspex piece with the word freedom on there. It's absolutely beautiful. If you guys can see that, I'm going to try to hold it up just over there. So ultimately setting the tone and the entire theme of this particular shoe being freedom shared. And then just below that, you've got this little insert over here. It says, "The purpose of freedom is to create it for others," the iconic quote from Nelson Mandela. And then just on the back here, "Would you walk with us? The purpose of freedom is to create it for others," from Nelson Mandela. They go on to say Mandela's long walk to freedom included a pair of these classic Hi-Tec tennis shoes, which became one of his favorite sneakers. In honor of Nelson Mandela and his legacy, Hi-Tec has re-released this iconic tennis shoe as the Hi-Tec Freedom 67s. And for some of you guys, if you're wondering why only 67 pairs, if you're perhaps watching from anywhere else other than South Africa, the reason for the 67 pairs is based on the 67 years that Nelson Mandela fought for social justice. And in honor of Nelson Mandela Day, which is the 18th of July, this coming Sunday, the UN has declared that Nelson Mandela Day. And here within South Africa, on Nelson Mandela Day, traditionally we all dedicate at least 67 minutes in order to better other people's lives, especially children, of course, within our country. And then goes on to say, and while this pair is free for me as it was gifted to me from Hi-Tec and the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, they do ask that I walk with them by donating to the Nelson Mandela's Children's Fund, founded by Mandela, that the fund believes that all children should enjoy a life free of hunger, abuse, exploitation, and homelessness. Your donation will help to keep Madiba's legacy alive, to continue to create freedom for others, including children. So there we have a little code over here, and I'm going to put links to all of this in the description below. Of course, I am going to be donating behalf of myself, my family, and of course Sneaker Stories, but I really want to use this as a drive for you guys to be able to get involved in this as well. You know, even if it's 5 Rand, even if it's 10 Rand, all of this goes a hell of a long way in helping the children of South Africa. And I guess further to that, you also have an option with these incredible shoes to basically get yourself a pair of these, one of 67 pairs, which I'll explain in a little bit more detail after going through the incredible design and materials that are represented in the shoe, as well as the storytelling here. Storytelling starts with the outsole of the shoe here, where they've used a clear translucent blue rubber over here representing the transparency of freedom, and set just below that you do have some graphic details, and I have to bring both pairs out here for you to basically show. If you step back, it says the purpose of freedom is to create it for others, and then just towards the toe section of the outsoles here you will notice this iconic or symbolic sun over here, which represents a new dawn and a beginning of a new life. Incredibly powerful there. And then last but not least, just above the bold wording here, you have freedom shared there as well. Now moving into the midsole of the shoe here, besides the high-tech branding that's been embossed here towards the rear section of that, coloration over here is a gray brownish kind of color. It does have little speckles on that. I think the coloration here really represents kind of a throwback to the retro pair that Mandela had himself, just giving it a little bit more of a sort of retro or aged feel. And then moving into the upper of the shoe, the materials used on the Freedom 67s are premium of note. Like literally the white leather here, which fills the majority of the upper of the shoe, is incredibly premium, soft and tumbled in texture. But onto the details of the shoe, because that's really where the story comes to life over here. In the heel section of the shoe, you've got each individual pair that is stamped here with an individual number. My pair is lucky number 13 of 67 pairs produced. And then from the main logo point of view here, on the lateral side of the shoe, you have the mantra, which is stepped and repeated, of freedom share, just done in a blue overlay print there. And then one of my absolute favorite details on this particular pair has to be the inclusion of the stitch line over here. You know, to most people, if you didn't understand the story or the representation of why that was included in the design of the shoe, would just kind of take it as like a texture addition or whatever. However, this is a lot more meaning to it. The stitch was added here to really represent healing, something which, given the current state of things in South Africa right now with the unrest, really is powerful in this moment to represent healing, something that we need so badly right now. And then just above that, again with this little underlay tag underneath the eyelet section, you've just got the word freedom, and that is represented on both shoes as well. And then flipping towards the toe box section of the shoe, you've got this beautiful perforation done here incredibly neatly on the toe box. And then from a lacing perspective, just above that, one set of flat white laces provided with the shoe. The aglets over here do have high-tech logos on them that are done in white and blue. And then set just atop the laces, one of the best sort of use of storytelling details that I've seen on a sneaker design is this lace lock over here, which is in the shape of a closed fist, something that's super iconic to Mandela himself, representing collective unity as well as the freedom we hold so dear. And then just swinging around to the heel section of the shoe, you have a blue leather overlay section here with the high-tech logo debossed in white over there. And then just swinging around back to the front of the shoe, just underneath the laces over here, the tongue exterior material is done in a super premium leather done in white. And then just at the top of the tongue over here, you have a leather overlay done in a gray suede with blue branding on top with a high-tech logo. Actually, I have to show them both of these side by side so you can get the full picture. You've got that closed fist icon over here with freedom underneath and shared on the left shoe with the high-tech logo. Now continuing on with the tongue over here, the reverse of the tongue is done in this beautiful textured material. The top of the tongue is kept exposed, giving the shoe a bit more of a retro feel and look to it. But the material there done in a yellowish color, and the rest of the sock liner with inside the shoe is just done in the same textured material, however finished off in a white. And just taking out the insoles for you over here, again that closed fist icon has been printed in both insoles of the shoe, which are done in a blue. These insoles are incredibly squishy and comfortable. I have put these on feet already and they are a seriously comfortable shoe. So all in all, really just storytelling so well here for Madiba's legacy. All the different touch points across the shoe come really well together, all in one incredibly comfortable and classic looking shoe. Now, while I have mentioned that there were only 67 pairs of this particular model made, and those were gifted majority to people to help spread this message of raising funds for the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund through the sneaker, of course, there is one pair which is the most iconic pair and numbered pair which is available for auction, and that is number 67 of 67, which will be auctioned on Hi-Tech's website. All the details will be in the description below. The registration for that is already open, with the auction taking place on Sunday the 18th of July on that site. So please make sure that you go over, follow Hi-Tech on Instagram, also go check out their website. All the details of this incredible pair of shoes are up there right now with the registration registration open for that auction this coming Sunday, with the idea and goal to raise as much money as possible for the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. And further to that, Mandela wanted freedom for all, so with that in mind, Hi-Tech have arranged for 2-tier releases to happen post that auction, with a portion of the proceeds going to the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund based off every sale made of the shoe. There will be 2 tiers of releases happening post that, with a second tier later in August through archive stores countrywide. From a sizing perspective, these shoes do run true to size. I measure as a true size UK 9, and these are those, and they fit me absolutely perfectly. So that would be my recommendation if you are looking to get a pair of these iconic shoes for yourself. But please make sure to stay tuned to Hi-Tech itself for all further release details of the tier 1 and tier 2 releases set to happen over the next couple of weeks. But once again, guys, the shoes aside, whether you like them or not, please see this as an opportunity to really help out the children of South Africa through the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. It really doesn't take much just to scan a barcode. I have already done it during the course of this review. It was super easy to put my donation in, and even as said earlier, if it's 2 Rand, 5 Rand, 10 Rand, 10,000 Rand, every little bit helps to help the children of this country who really do need it most. With that said, that wraps up the review of the Hi-Tech Freedom 67 sneakers. I hope you guys have found this helpful, enjoyable, and at least learned something here today on Sneaker Stories. If you do have any further questions about this particular release or anything else on Sneaker Stories, please feel free to drop your comments in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. But that's all from me for today, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.